Hi everyone, welcome back to Eyes On, How Hollywood Works. Today's guest, we are going to get into the tapestry of her career and maybe thread the needle of how she balances work and life. And
I mean, she really...
I'm trying to come up with one other...
She really, I felt like, wove an interesting story.
There you go. Perfect.
About her world as a costume designer. And not to put like too much of a button on it. But
yes,
she's a fantastic interview. And
so let's put a pin on that and talk more about who the guest is.
Yeah, her name is Erica Schwartz. She's a costume designer, an Emmy award-winning costume designer, who we'd worked with years ago on a show.
Yeah.
And she is a political activist. She designs now for Megan Stalter and Paul W. Downs from Hacks, and she has also been working a lot in the drag world, and it is apparent in the way that she designs and how interprets character. And I just learned so much from this interview.
Yeah, it's a very colorful conversation.
Yes, that was good.
We're really good at these intros. Anyway, here she is, Erica Schwartz. Erica, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a minute.
It's been
years.
Years. Not on social media, so I feel like I've seen you and kept up, with everything you're doing. But yeah, it's been a long time since it's been in person.
Lots happened in the industry, and we can let's go over some of that briefly.
Well, I want to like jump into it. I wore orange, on purpose because I wanted to talk about one of like your looks that just went viral that I saw all over the place, not even knowing it was you. And so I'm a big Hacks fan, so of course I saw it. But like, let's talk about the Paul W. Downs and Megan Stalter look.
Yes. Thank you.
So, like iconic, like everywhere.
Yeah, I did not know. I mean, it's on like page 6 and like huge things, and it was my first viral moment.
Yeah. The reason it also became iconic is that it was a replica of something that Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner also wore at a previous event, and like the red carpet of them, Paul and Megan were just like so funny on the red carpet, talking about how this is something that's already had in their closet.
It was Marty Supreme, wasn't it? Was it a Marty Supreme?
Yeah, they wore it to one of the Marty Supreme premieres.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then I find out, like, I see this everywhere, and then I find out that it was you that designed it.
Yep.
So tell us about, like, how did that come about? When did you get that call?
So I was contacted by Megan Stalter's stylist, Kat Tepeltios, and she asked if I was available and if this was in my wheelhouse. And I know lots and lots of industry people who are out of work, but the challenge was around the holidays. Mm-hmm. And because it was only a week, I had to find a lot of people to work on all the little pieces.
Well, yeah, because I looked, even the little ping pong paddle case, that leather, like that was like
everything's custom.
Oh, yeah.
So
everything was custom made, down to the shoes were custom painted.
Whoa.
We even had to like redo the hardware on the shoelaces on Paul's fake Timberlands or whatever.
And then did you do a sketch based on what you thought the design was going to be?
No, I was sent the photos of Timothée and Kylie. Yeah. And it was like, this is it. We want to replicate it as close as we can get it in the tiny amount of time that we had. And I found a lot of really talented people who are all available. And I had one person making Meg's dress. I had one person making Paul's suit. I had another person making his dress shirt. I had a 3D printer making the chrome heart buttons and the hardware for the ping pong bag. I had a painter making all the faux like leopard stuff on the shoes. She also painted the bags and the shoes for both of them. And then I had a bag maker who was amazing and made the ping pong bag and the like Kylie orange thing with the crosses and the leopard.
It's not like stage clothes or you're shooting where you can pin stuff up or fix stuff. This is something they have to wear for an entire evening, so it all has to be functional.
Oh yeah. Real clothes and fit really well and keep the boobies in, even though it was very revealing.
Yeah. So do you go meet with her and him first and take measurements, or did you already have their sizes from their stylist and just run with it?
Yeah, I was given their sizes from their stylist, and then we had a fitting with them 2 days before the red carpet.
Okay.
So we had to like really move forward with everything and get it almost totally done before the red carpet.
When you've built something custom, do you have it pre-built like a little big so you can take it in? Do you try to like do it exactly to their sizes? I mean, people's bodies, I don't mind. Like I'll have ramen and I'll be a different size the next morning, you know? So like what do you do with something like that? Because there's no room for give on those things.
Oh no. And then it's vinyl, so it's basically plastic. So when you sew into it, it leaves holes. So you can't even really let it out because you'll see the holes in it.
Yeah. You can only go under. I assume you can take it in.
You can only go in.
You just
basically.
can't go out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, everything was kind of in a semi-finished state, but not, because we needed to be able to like make the hem of the sleeves appropriate still and not leave holes and stuff in it.
Well, you must have a bit of a reputation. What made this stylist contact you? Or did you know?
She found me on this Google group called Last Looks LA.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't know?
No, I didn't know her at all before that.
But were they must have been pleased.
Oh, yes.
So because you continue to work with them, you've done other stuff?
Yeah. I've been working with Kat and Megan ever since then.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love them both. I recently got Megan ready for Las Culturistas Awards.
How did that come together?
So Kat kind of comes up with the ideas for everything with Megan, and they have like a whole, play off each other to come up with these great creative ideas. And then Kat reaches out to me and is like, hey, is this doable? Like what, time frame and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting her for the red carpet, we had like a corset slip thigh high kind of look, and a beautiful thing of fabric sort of trailing out, and it was supposed to look undone and last minute planned. And so we kind of made the outfit, I'll say, in the fitting, because it was just safety pinned and binder clipped on, because it was supposed to look
like that.
Yeah.
So was she parroting anybody specifically?
No.
Oh, it was just supposed to. Okay, so it was a unique look. Yep.
Yeah, it was a very unique idea, and it came out really, really well.
Tell me about like the first time you were brought on to design something yourself. Like a paid project where they said, okay, you're the designer. You don't have like a department head over you. You don't have anybody, and it's your vision. Like, what was that first time like?
It was on a vampire zombie movie called The Dead Undead.
Amazing. Okay.
The Dead Undead.
Yes.
Okay.
Very creative title.
Yeah. Creative titles, yeah.
Yeah, it was something like mad cows gave people zombieism.
Okay.
But then there's also there's zombie vampires.
Of course.
Yeah, because why not?
Yes.
And it was a lot of Goodwill shopping and a lot of covering everything in dirt and blood.
Yep.
But it was all put on by stuntmen. And so there was just tons of like action shots and really cool scenes. And there was like a guy who only had one leg, and then they did a leg rip-off scene.
Of course, if you got a one-legged person, that leg's got to be torn off.
Oh yeah, so it really was like my jump into kind of crafting, and I'm a very hands-on costume designer, which is probably how I know how to do all this weird shit.
Yeah.
And so, I love it. I love getting my hands in there and getting to do it myself, or like painting things myself.
When it comes to, actors or performers, and then of course the director and stuff, I know actors, I've read a lot that actors really, it's once they put on their wardrobe, all of a sudden they're like, it clicked for me. Like I knew all this kind of stuff. How do you balance that with something that maybe like a director would go, well, no, I thought it would be like this, and then you got that kind of. How do you balance that? Because I feel like every department head is kind of like a therapist to the others, and it's all about communication. How do you manage that on a wardrobe front?
Honestly, most of the time the director ends up going with whatever the actor wants.
Really?
Yeah. Like for example, when I was assistant costume designing on Barry, the last season we got to do this really amazing thing where there's a 10-year leap in time between season 3 and 4. And so we really got to help develop who are these people after 10 years. We are in a fitting with Sarah Goldberg, and she really loved her character in short skirts. And it was not the chosen look by the producers and the director. And she really loved it, and she insisted on it and fought for it, and she ended up wearing it in the episodes. So a lot of the time, I mean, but she's been playing this character for years, and her fight was, I know this character better than anybody because I've been inside the brain of this character for years.
Yeah. Well, and I can see that as from a director's now. You want the actors to feel comfortable and like do the role the best.
So feel that it's right for their character.
If you're going to put them in something and then they're just like awkwardly moving around and all of a sudden they don't feel like themselves, that can make a big impact. Where do you come in there? Where you like, do you kind of help bridge that gap sometimes, that divide between like an actor and a director or producer?
Sometimes.
Come up with creative solutions as we
I mean, it really depends on the director and the situation. Like, I have some directors where I just tell them this is the actor's preference and they go with that. And other times I kind of need to talk them into why this look is my favorite. And I think it'll be really cinematic on this set with the lighting you discussed and at this angle. And they're like, oh, okay. It really depends on how visual the directors and producers are.
Because I imagine they come to you with a look and then you're probably figuring out what kind of fabrics or textures that will actually give them what they want, but then actually work on a human body, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also how they're going to move in the scene, which is really a huge part of the acting too. How they're going to talk and move and feel and all of that. And, honestly, the amount of camera tests I've gotten to do is barely any.
Oh, I was going to ask that.
Any.
So like if you're testing a fabric or something and how it looks under the lights, because it may look different.
Oh,
it often looks different, right? So,
I mean, I'm sure they test stuff for Star Wars, but, it's not... I've maybe had 2 camera tests on all of the things I've worked on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very minimal.
So tell me about your process when you get a script and it's like, Erica, we want to hire you for this movie. You read the script for the first time. What goes through your brain as you do it? Walk me through.
The characters and what is motivating the characters to do their actions. I always want to talk to the writer because I want to know, they usually have a whole backstory that's maybe not on the page and not in the script. And a lot of the time that's a huge part of it. And you really want to get that. And sometimes things are a little disjointed and maybe the director hasn't gotten all the backstory information or, hasn't told me all of it. But, getting to know the writer and where they're coming from. Then having a big conversation with the director on their overall vision. And I've done image boards for characters before they've cast characters, but it's kind of pointless because depending on who you cast really depends on the overall look of the character.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So sometimes you start out and... like you might have a whole idea of what a character looks like based on what you read.
Yeah.
And then they cast a person, you're like,
that's not what I thought.
Okay, we're going a different direction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And on some things like Barry, because it's so fast-paced, we've had to kind of shop for stuff and just shop in a whole size range because we didn't have things. And we got image boards approved ahead of time, but then they cast somebody and it was like, oh, I think we need to... go in a totally different angle now that we know who's cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then at what point do you sit down with the actor and talk about it?
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
As soon as possible. Because, if there is no backstory from the writer, or even additionally to that, the actor has the most experience getting a backstory, getting a psychological perspective inside that character, which is so important for their costume.
When does your department end and then props pick up like that? Because that's always. Yeah, I know it's a moving target. It really depends on the show,
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What's the standard?
I mean, the technical description is if it's handled, it's a prop. So it really depends. It's very, very collaborative. A lot of the time, if it needs to match the outfit, then the costume designer will handle it.
Jewelry, earrings.
That's props, isn't it?
See, technically, it's like a weird in between, but costumes always ends up doing jewelry.
Okay.
If it's like wedding rings and stuff, then usually props.
Okay.
Watches tend to be props because then they have to deal with like time continuity on the watch.
Oh.
Which is not something.
Yeah, you're like no one. Yeah, not tracking
I
that.
hadn't thought about that. That's stressful.
Yeah, it can be, and you always got to get watches that don't work, obviously, because you have to like reset them every time you do a take if you can see the screen of the watch.
Yeah. How do you deal when you have those moments where there's you had a great plan and then now it's falling apart, you know? Emotionally, like how do you push through? And as a department head, you're also a leader for your team. You know,
it's part of the job is putting out the fires. That's really a big part of the job.
Yeah.
And you got to get really good at it. Yeah. And great at MacGyvering things because, sometimes it's figuring something out. Sometimes it's making another shirt.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about how you interact with the sound department.
Hiding mics is real hard, especially with girls wearing very little clothing. Yeah. But, I mean, the difference is, like, you just boom it if you really can't hide a mic real well or if something keeps banging.
Do you do a lot of prep with them, or no? Is it kind of on the day?
It's on set.
You show up and they go, okay, this is how we're going to solve this.
I mean, if I get enough time, I'll send sound fitting photos, and I've had people reply to me like, "I've never had a costume designer send me fitting photos before. This is amazing!" Like, they can actually prep and pre-plan how to,
or ask a question if they're already going, "I don't know how I'm going to mic that."
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys can start coming up with solutions before you're on set.
I mean, I think, and that's really kind of how things used to be. It used to be you have to plan things ahead because you can't just bring a camera out of your pocket or, run into the studio and pull out equipment or whatever.
Right.
So it used to have to be super pre-planned. And now everything's so fast and nobody really gets enough prep time. And I think that's why also a lot of fires end up happening because everything's so last minute or everybody's okay changing things or changing their mind in the last minute. And then it's like, oh, well, one little thing puts a wrench in it and then all these other pegs, go out of whack.
Yeah. We're kind of in an era in the industry where there's just less things being produced, so you'd think the things that are being produced have the room or have the budget to kind of like provide that the shows that do exist would not be as crunched as
I'm guessing
hard as they are.
Mandalorian probably got its prep time.
And it's not just tiny budget things, it's big budget things too. On a big budget thing, we basically started making the uniforms in shooting order for the needs. So we were making it, we need one beauty for this actor, followed by one beauty for this actor, followed by the stunt double, followed by the stunt double's harness version, followed by the actor's harness version on this date. We were literally building it in shooting order.
So you're laying the tracks while the train's coming at you.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, so it's not just on tiny budget things.
Yeah. Okay. So then that was an interesting thing too. So how many on a big budget thing? You just had 3 versions right there. The hero actor one, stunts, harness one, actor's harness one. I mean, that's 4 versions for right there for one movie, right?
Yeah. Well, also there were levels of distressing. So there
Yeah,
were 8 versions, I think, of each uniform.
So if they get beat up or bloodied or this or that, you've got versions. But you can go back to have your hero version.
It was like a harness bloody, a harness not bloody.
Clean, yeah.
And then, you know, actors or stunt guys changing sizes and would have to wear the harness version because they got buffer doing all the stunts throughout the shoot.
Are you serious?
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
They just sweat a lot every day, so they've...
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing that many stunts every day for like 8-10 hours.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like stuff
It's a
happens to
workout.
their bodies.
Yeah. Well, okay. So speaking of lower budget crazy things, we did a show called Golden Revenge together.
Yes.
Which was crazy. And so I have a little surprise here.
What?
I recently worked with Jessie West.
I love Jessie.
And
Was
she
that
gave
Chubb's
me
jacket?
Oh my God!
this.
Is that
So
Chubb's?
many memories.
Yes.
Oh,
So tell
it's
us
the chimp
about
vest.
this. This is the
It
vest.
is, right? It's the
Yeah,
one that
it's the
Chimp
chimp
wore?
vest.
This is the vest that the chimp wore.
Yeah,
Jessie West had that?
she
Jessie
did.
West did, yeah. What do you have to say about this? Have you ever
Will you
designed
answer for this? Answer for this.
Yes.
Look at that.
So
That's awesome.
it
I
was
wanna wear
so
that.
fun because it was also a Warner Brothers show. So every patch had to be cleared by legal and custom designed.
Oh.
And yeah, and I hired this really great illustrator, and I worked with him back and forth. And he created all of these patches and made sure they
so
were all
those weren't
unique.
purchased.
No.
Those were created.
So he drew all the graphics for these and all my costume illustrations for the show. And then I had a custom embroiderer make all these patches. And there was a second vest as well because
Yeah,
you don't
okay.
know what's going on with the chimp and
Sure.
Yeah.
whatnot. So there was a multiple.
And so did you do a fitting with the chimp?
Yes. Yes, he was on the loading dock at Universal Costume Department.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I have
didn't even know that
pictures.
happened. That's
Eli
I
the
will send
Chimp
you
to-
pictures.
When I die, bury me face down so the whole world can kiss my ass.
Yup.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Have you ever seen a chimp ass? Yikes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet you have on this show.
Yes. Yeah.
So we did
Many
a
close
documentary
encounters.
about Eli after
Yes.
this and about his, retirement and I would not choose to work with a chimp again. It definitely was one of those things that was like morally questionable, but it was
Yeah, we flagged it at the time.
yeah,
We wanted to go with a lesser monkey, but
everybody wanted to do the chimp and
Yeah.
we were overruled, but
That's
now at least
amazing.
we can say we did it, right? It's one
Yeah,
of
it was
those
his
things that-
last thing before your documentary.
and he was the last
Yeah.
working chimp in Hollywood. So
Yeah.
there will be no more after this.
So
which
it
is
was
a good
historic
thing. but
event.
It was a
Yes,
historic
it was.
event. Yeah.
It's-
Anyway, so I wanted to share that with you. and show you.
Amazing.
it's all
Aw.
CG now. Speaking of, have they started? Has computer generated started moving into wardrobe? Like, do you leave
Yes.
pieces open to then be just completely dealt with visual effects?
There's a little bit more of a balance,
Yeah.
but everything's getting scanned these days.
What do you mean by scanned?
They started scanning background actors ahead of time.
In wardrobe.
In wardrobe, like dancing or doing whatever, and then we get to a party scene and they've got screens all around the party space, and then on the screens they're projecting the background actors that we had scanned previously.
It was a projection or like LED?
No, it was screens. It was all LED screens
Okay,
as
yeah.
the set, basically.
So you have to have all these wardrobe done in well before it shoots. So this is quite a bit of prep to get all those.
Yeah. But I mean, they had full-time staff and
Yeah.
all of
Yeah,
that.
it's-
I mean, not a ton of prep, but you have prep before shooting with the background actors and prep before fitting all the people who show up to the shoot on the shoot day.
Yeah. What do you think that is? Do you think is there a cost savings in doing that, or do you think that's more of like you don't
Well,
have you can literally
they
digitally move?
duplicated them, so
they
it
use them.
they
repeatedly.
created
so
a lot more
scanned
people.
them.
So it is
I
cost
can't
savings.
remember how many people. So they scanned like 10 people.
Yeah.
But then they made it look like distant crowds. So they made it look like 50 or 100 people and then put real people in front of the screens.
How has the kind of the digital world and like generative AI kind of affected your position? How are you using it?
Or how are you seeing it creep into your world?
That's a great question. So on the sci-fi movie that I designed, the director gave me AI images. And he's like, oh, I created these for all the characters and da-da-da-da-da. And there were some that, like, we had some, back and forth in conversation, and he also wrote the script. And so I got really into his head and his world. And then I was like, okay, now let's go back to these images and talk more. And, and he was very open and collaborative, though, because he didn't know much about costumes or how to make things look, a certain character, but sci-fi. And also about fabrics and textures and all that. So a lot of the main characters, it was like talking to him and doing a back and forth about, like, well, what do you really love about this image? And I think he had come up with these images to pitch to producers to raise the funds for the shoot. But now that he had hired me, he was, like, very flexible to have me design the things. There was, like, one character, I think, that he was like, no, exactly like this. But, and it was a very doable character. But if it was something where it was like, this is not really going to work on a body, he was understanding about that.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like my first experience with a lot of AI stuff.
Well, and they're coming to you with this stuff like ready-made. There's not, you're not ideating and piecing it together.
It's taking the creative process out of it. And especially that whole back and forth, like where's that?
Exactly.
And me coming up with ideas and then them coming up with ideas and the back and the forth and all of that is gone.
Yeah.
And then it's like one person, and I feel like there's movies where there's a person who's a director, a producer, an actor, a writer, and the movies tend to sometimes not come out so great because it's like one person's vision and they didn't have anybody to bounce anything back and forth, or maybe they didn't listen. I mean, you never know.
There's plenty of people that do that and take none of that advice.
Yeah. But it's like filmmaking is a collaborative process in its entirety, and that's how it really is supposed to be. And I think that's also why filmmaking has been kind of shit lately, especially the major movies, because people are running it like a business. So that's kind of been my experience with AI. I was a shopper for a shoot where they were scanning in characters for AI purposes, and that was super weird.
Ooh. How does that work? Like, what is the usage of that?
Yeah, so it was interesting because they wanted certain color, like polo, like I'd get a character type and it would be like yuppie dad or something, and they'd be like, we don't really care about the color because we're going to change that anyway, but we need textures, we need no shine, we need, there were like weird requirements. And I was like, oh, like I guess I don't know much about the scanning process. I mean, it's interesting.
So it's creating a data set, I guess.
Yeah, it was for a video game, so I'm kind of like, okay, it's not taking away jobs, so I'm not, ethically opposed to it.
Giving them something that they can use in perpetuity for all kinds of things and cut out people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So tell me about a costume illustrator, because I didn't know about this part of the business.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me how that works.
So basically, if you're custom building especially, it's kind of pointless if you're just like going to Zara and shopping or something.
Yeah.
But if you're custom building stuff, people want to know what the thing in my head is. You know what I mean? Like mood boards really help. But the illustrator, you work super closely with them to draw the actual thing that you want to make. I mean, obviously, like, there's a process when you get the fabrics and in the fitting, and the illustration isn't necessarily the final product.
But it is the one thing that everyone's kind of referring to.
Yeah. Like, if I had a fabric shopper, I'd give my fabric shopper the illustration and say, hey, this part I want to be this type of fabric or textured or something like this, and then this part like this. And, maybe if you're drawing jewelry, you give it to them to also go shop the jewelry or have the jewelry made or whatever, or the shoes. It's really like the first visual thing to get approved by the director, by production, because custom making costs money.
Yeah. So then does it start out looking like a sketch, and then as you add more of like, here's the fabric, then they replace it and it just builds until it looks more and more photoreal?
Depending on the illustrator and the budget, depends on, if you have the illustrator who can scan in the fabrics and stuff, that's ideal, because then you get even more of that final look before you're having all the stitchers cut into the fabric and fit the things on the actors, and it helps the actors see what's going to be put on their body and kind of maybe give some notes like, oh, hey, maybe don't make the bust so low because I don't think this character would be so booby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, you've been working...
Great segue.
Is that a good transition?
That was a great segue.
Well, I was going to move into like your work in the drag world.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of movies in the drag world.
Yes,
so,
there is.
Just tell me about that transition and what you get to do there that you don't get to do elsewhere.
Oh, it's because it's theater, basically.
Yeah.
So more is more. And I love color, as you can see.
Yeah.
And glitter and sequins and all of that is drag. And so I feel like I've embraced drag in just part of who I am as a person. And so getting to work with drag queens is amazing. It's a whole different thing from film and TV because you sit down with them and you're like, tell me about your drag persona. Because it is like character design, but it's this character that they've made up, and they have to then decide, like, is my character going to transform? Who is this character?
Now, you said you brought drag into just your own life. I saw your Costume Designers Guild Awards gown, and I felt there's a little bit of drag influence there with the hair and everything.
That was like my first self-drag outfit, honestly, because I was doing wigs with it, and it was a custom build that I did.
Tell me about the idea for that and what you wanted to say with it.
I was very involved with the pay equity committee with the Costume Designers Guild, and it was right before we were trying to fight for our contract for pay equity with Art Directors Guild.
Okay. I was wondering who the equity was with.
Pay equity was with art directors.
Yes.
Okay.
Because costume designers are traditionally a female job, and art directors are traditionally a male job, and we were being paid less than half of what art directors were.
And that's in the scale rate of the contracts.
The scale, very low base rate on the basic agreement.
On the basic agreement with AMPTP. AMPTP and different guilds though, different locals. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but it looks like so across this dress it says "Pay Equity Now." Pay Equity Now. You've got the IATSE symbol on there. You've got the IATSE symbol on your bag. Did you get any backlash? Did anyone call you and go from?
No. It was kind of a movement put on by the guild, and they've been really supportive of the pay equity movement. And basically a designer had designed the fabric, and they designed 2 different fabric prints, and they reached out to the really active members of the pay equity committee and said, hey, would you be willing to like custom make an outfit with the fabrics we had designed, and we'll cover your ticket to the awards, and we want to make a big, bold statement. And I said,
Your hand
yes,
went up.
Yeah.
obviously, yes. And it ended up being pink, which was also a bonus.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I mean, it's a very big, bold print. And so I kind of toyed with different directions for the design, and it ended up sort of like a sash type of look.
Yeah.
So you could really read it. Then I was like, well, I need to let the print sing. And so I just went bigger is better, and I did the biggest ball skirt I could, design and make. I think it was like 5 petticoats in one or something.
wow.
Is that what keeps it big? Okay.
Yeah. All the undergarments.
And you got some press for it.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and even this, like, I was unaware that costume designers' scale is, would you say, half?
Yeah.
And did anything change after that?
Oh,
in the next negotiation?
yeah. We had we went to AMPTP and we fought for pay equity and we won. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually really amazing and historic because I was there on the contract committee.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That is amazing that you were able to make a difference.
Yes.
With what you wore.
I mean, that's really what costume design is about, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
with film and TV jobs down, what kind of things are you piecing together to kind of fill out
Tell us about your pivots.
Yes.
Pivot,
It's been difficult and challenging.
Yeah.
But I have dove into the world of drag because live stuff is happening still. And then it kind of turned into red carpet stuff. I designed a gown for my nominated friend to wear to the Emmys. And then I did all this stuff for Megan.
Yeah.
And I've been just riding that custom-made train. Honestly, it's great.
So what's next? What do you, like? What's happening?
I don't know. Honestly, there's some things in the works with Megan Stalter. She got a music video coming out.
Okay, so you guys have kind of stayed friends and you're working together. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like you said, when you meet the right people who are amazing and passionate and like really give it, you want to just keep that train going.
Yeah.
And that's what's been happening with me and Megan and her stylist Kat. Like, it's just, we work so well together and we're all huge animal advocates and our personalities flow and our creative rhythm flows in a really lovely way.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's really the ideal situation. And so when you got it, you don't want to let it go.
Yeah, with all the bright colors and everything. Do you get comments on...
Oh, yeah. I mean,
really?
I'm very easy to find on set. That's for sure. All my assistants never have trouble finding me. But I mean, I have strangers coming up to me on the street saying, I love your outfit. The other day, I ran into Caroline Ray at in North Hollywood, and she said, I love your outfit. And I was like, oh, my God. And that's the beauty of costume design, really, in a nutshell, is people see the clothes and what you're wearing, and it makes them feel things. Mm-hmm. And I love bringing joy to people, through what I wear, which is why I dress like a 5-year-old drag queen.
Do you think costumes is basically the outward expression of how you are kind of inward and how you feel on the inside? Is that
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so much psychology to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I love bright colors. I love bringing my joy to myself so that I don't get stressed out on jobs and stuff, but also to other people. Yeah. I mean, constantly, I'll pop in and I'll make friends or I'll give hugs if people are having a really stressful time. Like, I'm that person, on set, and I feel like that. I mean, is that not apparent by my clothes that I'm friendly and approachable,
Yeah. You're easy to spot and things get stressful on set, but it is something when you can turn to someone and go, but look at that.
Yeah.
That is, it does change, you know.
Brings a smile to your face.
Yeah, totally.
Your energy was just always so great. So
thank you.
Yeah. Well, and thank you for coming all the way down here and coming in and talking to us. This has been amazing.
Anytime.
I have learned so much too, just about how your department works and how you think and how costume designers. I mean, just what a job it is. So I appreciate you.
Thanks
sharing.
for shedding light on that. Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you for listening to Eyes On: How Hollywood Works. Eyes On is hosted by Chris Hanada and Tanner Kling and produced by Simran Porwal Johnson. This episode has been edited by Cooper Bosland. The views, opinions, and comments expressed by guests on this podcast are their own and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Retrofit Films. This podcast may include copyrighted material used under fair use provisions. All copyrighted materials remain the property of their respective owners.